Speaking of specials, what do you think about Dave Chappelle getting this $60 million deal I heard from Netflix for a stand-up of his own and two other unreleased specials he got coming up? What do you think about that?
I mean,
They
first of all,
everybody.
Netflix must be trapping out the bando. They got the millions to give away. I'm like, man, as a comedian, you would think that you would want to aspire to be on HBO, and you still do. You still want that hour HBO special. But once Netflix start throwing millions around, you be like, God damn. Netflix on this 50 Shades of Grey shit with comedians, nigga. He throwing that money straight at them. But the thing about it is, it's going to people who deserve it. To me, Chappelle is, the greatest living comedian, as far as pure comedy, stand-up. Like, I just saw him do 11 minutes on Saturday Night Live, and in that 11 minutes, he proved, like, this dude is a beast. It make you just want to work harder because it's like, it's so effortless. He know how to talk that shit. So I'm glad, I'm excited to see him get back into the, stand-up arena and, give his perspective on the things that have been going on. It's only one other person that I would like to see more, not even more, but that I would like to see as much as Chappelle, and that's Eddie Murphy. I love to see Eddie Murphy get back into it. And Netflix, hey, there you go, Netflix. Chico Bean is telling, fuck it, save my money for a little bit later. I get mad on the road for right now. But give Eddie Murphy a couple hundred of the millions and get that motherfucker to do a special.
You think Eddie will ever do a special again?
Shit, if the check right, he will. Anybody will do anything if the check right. Shit, they'll fuck around and bring Fred Sanford back to life for all that money they got. That shit is crazy. But it's deserving, man. It's deserving. So, it's these are legendary dudes getting these big numbers. They didn't put the work in, so they deserve the money, in my opinion.
Now, when I've seen the Dave Chappelle Saturday Night Live monologue, he said so much stuff in those 11 minutes. I had to watch it again just to catch everything.
Yeah.
When you see something like that, do you watch it more than once to catch everything, or do you
yeah, of course, because it's so much intricate detail in the joke. You know what I mean?
Like double puns.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All kinds of
like
stuff
it's so much intricate detail, but that comes with just experience and doing it so long. Chappelle can get on stage for 2 hours and just talk to you, and you'll sit there and listen. That's hard to do. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are. You don't want to listen to nobody do anything for 2 hours. I don't give a fuck what it is that they doing. You like, man, this shit, god damn, this motherfucker still talking. But he just has that engaging energy that just makes you just want to listen to what he has to say. And one of the things that people don't understand about comedians is most of the time when you're doing open mic nights, you performing for other comics. Don't no regular people really come to that shit. You know what I mean? So you performing for other comics, and for some odd reason, it's hard to make other comics laugh in certain situations. But Chappelle is one of those type of guys that he's a comedian's comedian. He's gonna make you laugh whether you write jokes or tell them or whatever, because he just has that type of mind to make you, think about whatever it is your perspective is and say, hey, am I delving deep enough into my own psyche to be able to present this to the world in the best fashion that I can? So yeah, I definitely watch Chappelle as many times as I can. I was so excited to see him back on TV and back doing it. It was just inspiration, because I'm from D.C., he from D.C., and, just watching him become one of the guys that he became always gave me motivation. So to see him win is definitely a victory for me as well, in my own personal opinion. And I met him one time and he knew who I was, so that was fucking crazy.
Every interview I do with a comedian and other interviews I've seen with other comedians, when people ask a comedian what their favorite comedian is, he's always in a person's, either the top or a person's top
five.
three.
Yeah, top three, top five. Got to, because, of what he's done. You know what I mean? Chappelle's show is one of the funniest shows of all time. Like, literally. That shit is still funny to this day. Roll up one of them lean blunts you niggas be smoking and watch the Chappelle DVDs. If you ain't seen them, watch them and see if you don't damn near die from something else other than what you smoking and drinking. That shit is hilarious.
What did you think when he brought back some of the characters?
It was nostalgic. The crazy part is it was some people that didn't know who the characters were. I'm like, how the fuck do you not know who Tyrone Biggums is? Like, I was born in 2006. You're like, oh, well, all right. But yeah, it was crazy to see him do that because, you can lose it. You know what I mean? It's possible to lose it. Not necessarily lose it, but it's possible to be so rusty that people think you lost it. But he ain't miss a step, man. He came right back in and had that same level of funny that he had before he left TV, and it make you just miss the Chappelle Show and make you wonder what it could have been if it wouldn't have went south. You know what I mean?
Did that surprise you? Did you think he was going to bring those characters back?
I was hoping that he did. I really didn't have any expectation on what the show was going to be. I was just happy to see him. I just didn't want it to be that corny shit, you know what I mean? That would have made me mad if he'd have got on there and did some of that shit that just make you want to change the channel. But he didn't. He came through and he did it his way. So, you know, and I think that is kind of a way of showing the people who were fans of his show that I didn't leave you because I wanted to leave you. I left you because they wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do. And I'm only going to do this the way I want to do this and present it to you that way. And I think that's kind of the guys that he went into doing Saturday Night Live with, because if you watch the show, it was different than any other show. Like when he came on NBC and was like, it's going to be some niggas, I'm like, oh shit, Chappelle's back. Like he had to put that in the contract, like, hey, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to get my art off. And that's something that you got to applaud, because, you know, he left the funniest show on television, just walked away from it. But if that's the reason why he walked away from it, then that you gotta respect and understand that, because you don't ever want to compromise yourself. Like he said himself in the interview, you gotta have a price. Whatever your price is, never go past that price, because once you go past that price, is you whore status, and then you pretty much doing anything. You know what I mean? You're gonna be the new Sambo and the whatever, and you got the goddamn yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, master, please. Yeah, I mean, you don't want them problems. So always have a price. Now, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, if you want to be that dude, then go for it. But if you don't, then you got to name your price. And he had his price, and it was too much. He got the fuck out of there. But to see him come back, it was dope.
What are you expecting from his stand-up with Netflix?
Oh, it's going to be dope. You seen just in 11 minutes him tackling, really he only had 2 subjects, 3, the presidential election, the shootings that have been going on, and that's pretty much all he talked about. Really, it was just 2, the presidential election, and he tackled the shootings. So he just touched on 2 topics, and it was brilliant in his perspective on how it works. So I expect him to tackle everything else that's going on, you know what I mean, and give his perspective on that. So I think it's going to be dope. For him and Chris Rock to have specials coming, I think it's going to open up the doors for comedy in a lot of positive ways.